through our research and practice. And across the 3 sessions today, it's really, I guess what we're really excited about is the sharing of these stories between researchers and our partners about the work that we've been doing over the last few years, and in particular the last 12 to 18 months, across learning, teaching and training. And we also want to set the scene about where to next. So we hope also across the day that you'll find things that maybe that you learn and that you find curious as well to want to know more. So let's go now to the essence, which is learning. It's something that we do every day, and for many of you, it's something that you support others to do. Learning occurs across the lifespan in multiple contexts, online and in person. And when it's effective, we actually see a lot of personal and professional growth. So you're all possibly here because you have a role in helping others to learn. So what we want to do is quickly find out what's brought you here today. So I'd like you, I'm going to give you about 3 minutes to turn to the person next to you. If you don't know them, introduce yourself and answer the 2 questions that are on the slide. What's brought you here today? And why and how is learning valued in your work and organisation? And onliners, you might like to just reflect as well, and you could even put some of those responses in the chat so that you can sort of talk together online. All right, 3 minutes, off you go. Okay, thanks everyone. That's a great dialogue, and it will continue throughout today. You will have a lot more opportunities to be able to continue that conversation both through the sessions and networking during morning and morning tea and lunchtime. But great to hear the buzz in the room, and we know that there is so much expertise and knowledge within the walls of this room. So what is learning? How do people learn? What factors affect learning? And how can we use our understanding of learning to inform the design and delivery of learning, teaching and training? These are the fundamental questions the Science of Learning aims to answer. The Science of Learning brings a multidisciplinary field of research across neuroscience, psychology and education to investigate and understand from the neurological levels of the synapse to the interpersonal, social and systems level across society. Overall, it takes a holistic, multi-level, multidisciplinary lens of learning. When we think about the science of learning, it's actually a relatively new field. And at UQ, we first investigated and invested in this field in 2013 with the establishment of the Science of Learning Research Centre, or as it's affectionately and well known, the SLRC. It was funded under the Australian Research Council and brought together 25 leading researchers in neuroscience, cognitive psychology and education from across Australia. Working with partners in the Department of Education from around the country, the goal was to improve learning outcomes and drive transformational changes in learning and teaching. In 2017, we noted that the research within the SLRC was important and valuable. It was getting a lot of traction. We had a lot of people very interested in our work, and it was going really well. There was a lot of excitement about the work, about the development of brain in young people, and in how that would affect what happens in classrooms. We had great professional development days and conferences. They were very well attended. Our research papers were being picked up and read, and so it was pretty fantastic. We had a great midterm review. But one of the things that we felt we needed to do more of, and that was more of a two-way exchange. Because while these forms of knowledge exchange have a purpose, it's increasingly well known that they don't have long-lasting change on practice and improvement. So we needed to find ways to apply this knowledge and mobilise it in real-world contexts. This is known as research translation and knowledge mobilisation. And while it seems quite straightforward, it's actually quite complex. Headed up by Professor John Hattie from the University of Melbourne and myself, the SLRC translation was established and dedicated to moving from a unidirectional approach, the sorts of things that we see on the screen here and I've just mentioned, to building research capacity and capability, particularly in partnership with educational professionals. Led by Dr. Steph McMahon, the SLRC translation team looked into the barriers and enablers to effective research translation, and in response, designed our highly successful Partner Schools program. This program is a research project in itself, has been running for a few years now and is incredibly invaluable. And we have a lot of our partner schools represented here today. So while our initial focus was on the schools context, we quickly became known and started to be contacted by a range of other areas in higher education, in the health sector, in sport sector, in resources and training, and in vocational education and training. We could really see the benefits of continuing and expanding the work in the Science of Learning Research Centre and in the translation team work that we'd been doing. But our ARC funding was quickly evaporating and the centre was coming to a close. And we knew it needed a new idea and a new source of funding. So the concept of the UQ Learning Lab was founded and born with the help of some strategic funding from the government and the University of Queensland and the support of the School of Education. And we thank Tisha for that support that we have had within the School of Education. So the Learning Lab is a multidisciplinary team of researchers and interprofessional partners who are collaborating together to work on challenges and opportunities in the field of learning and training, and across modes and transitions and contexts. You'll hear more about this throughout the day. The Learning Lab's made up of key personnel who have collaborated extensively in the Science of Learning Research Centre. While I'm the nominal head of the Learning Lab, it's our Program Director, Dr. Stephanie McMahon, who oversees all of the projects and the teams, ensuring that the core elements of our partnership approach are firmly integrated within our work. And I know many of you know Steph well and are in this room today because of the incredible partnerships that you have had over the number of years in working in the partner schools and other projects. Our CIs who you'll meet during the day are highly respected experts across the science of learning in their respective disciplines, and also have great expertise in methodologies and technologies in the various realms of learning. We have 5 wonderful research fellows who are all running their own programs of research, as well as involved in a range of projects and initiatives of the lab. And most of you will hear from most of them today as well. And then we have our amazing team of research assistants, PhD students and honorary fellows, who again come to us from across diverse disciplines and areas of experience and expertise. Here at the UQ Learning Lab, our mission is bold: to rewrite the narrative around learning. So now I'm going to pass over to Steph, who will provide the details of the lab and the why, what and how. So thank you and enjoy the day.